Why am I optimistic about America? Well, first, of course, and most importantly, more importantly than being optimistic, is I'm hopeful. And I'm hopeful because Jesus tells us to be hopeful. Hope is a virtue, it's a theological virtue. We're all called to be hopeful. We can never give up hope. We can never leave that out of the picture. We can never be hopeless. That's the sin against the Holy Spirit. That's the unforgivable, unpardonable sin. Don't go there. We have to be people of hope no matter how bad things are. But today I'm not only hopeful, as bad as things are, I'm actually optimistic, which I don't have to be. Jesus doesn't command you to be optimistic. And there may be times coming when I won't be able to be optimistic. But why am I optimistic now? It's because I spend my time teaching young men and women, sent to us by Princeton's wonderful admissions office, which means I get to teach really brilliant young men and women. And while I see in our young men and women today many of the problems that we have in our society, people with their values askew, people forgetting to focus on what really matters, like faith and family and friendship and compassion and decency and honor, and focusing on money and power and fame and influence and prestige. Well, I see all that. It's amazing how many of our young people I see coming around to getting their priorities right. And not only getting their priorities right, putting money and power and fame and wealth and prestige in second place, putting faith and family and friendship and honor and compassion and dignity in first place. Not only do I see them embracing that and coming around to it, I see them brilliantly defending it and exemplifying extraordinary courage in defending it. It's amazing to me. These kids, sometimes it's really hard. They know they're going to get blasted on social media. They know they're going to get shunned in the dining halls. And yet, they've got the courage to speak out. And they're using the beautiful intellects that they have been blessed with, the powerful brilliance that they have, to make the case to their fellow students. And often they win over their fellow students. They're doing more of the work than we on the teaching faculty are doing when it comes to really bringing kids to seriously, critically scrutinize their values and some of the orthodoxies that are out there, especially the woke ideology that you find. So how can I be pessimistic when I see this? I can only be optimistic. I can only be hopeful. I can only be amazed at how brilliant and how courageous these young people are. And honestly, they put us older people, especially us older Christians, to shame. We should be ashamed of ourselves. They are exemplifying courage that we should be exemplifying it. We're not modeling it enough for them, and they're managing to do it anyway. Think of how many more and how much better they would do it if there were more people at the senior level, if I can describe us that way, who were ourselves being their role models and exemplifying it. So let's do that. Let's take inspiration from our youngsters and try to provide them with the support and the good examples that they need.